What's up, guys? Welcome back to Mark's Stock Review. Hope you're all doing well today. Today's video is going to be on Luminar Technologies. I'm going to briefly discuss their company and some of their technology. I'm going to go over their partnerships, but most importantly, why they matter to Luminar. I'm going to go over some pros and cons and whether it's too late to buy. I also want to give a shout out to my newest patron, Chloe Lamb. I'll keep my video short and sweet as promised to respect your time. That said, let's get right into it. Full disclosure, I do not currently own Luminar Technologies. However, I wish I did. I wish I did buy it a couple months ago. Listed here are the positions that I added to recently, including a new position, a very small position in Sun Hydrogen. Back to Luminar. They went public through a SPAC, Gores Metropoulos, and the reverse merger just closed a few days ago. Luminar's CEO developed a new type of LAZR, which is light detection and ranging, from the ground up to lead the next phase of autonomous driving for cars and semi-trucks for availability in 2022. Their technology involves millions of pulses of laser light to accurately detect locations of objects and to create a temporary real-time 3D map without requiring internet connectivity. Luminar is now making LiDAR, which used to be much more expensive than cameras, much cheaper now, which from my point of view is the absolute game changer. Luminar has two programs, Hydra, which is for testing and development programs, and Iris, which is for series production programs beginning 2022. And so now, if you're thinking about investing in Luminar, you want to be asking yourself, is it going to be cameras or LiDAR as the future? It seems like Elon Musk is the only one not on board with LiDAR. Even Google's Waymo is doing it. I have three main points. The first being that cameras are cheaper, but arguably they're unreliable in poor weather and inferior with depth perception. And number two, competition will heat up as LiDAR scalability improves. But to be fair, history does show that betting against Elon Musk, which does include his camera technology, does not tend to end well for investors. And this is a very important discussion from my point of view, so I would really appreciate it if you would leave a comment in the section below on your opinion on cameras versus LiDAR so everybody can see it. The first contract is with Mobileye, which is a subsidiary of Intel. It matters because Mobileye has the experience and track record in series production to help Luminar get their products to market with scale. The next partnership is with Volvo. Volvo is going to use Luminar's LiDAR to launch self-driving tech for highways, but more importantly for Luminar, it's going to help ensure their tech validation and exposure to a broader automotive industry. And the last partnership I want to talk about briefly is the one with Daimler. They're investing in Luminar's technology to help produce big rig trucks to drive without humans by 2022. But what's important for Luminar is that per their CEO, this is the shortest path for Luminar to get their tech into commercialized vehicles and a path to profitability. Okay, let's move on to some pros. The first one being, investing in Luminar is a way to diversify autonomous driving technology to include LiDAR as well as cameras. That way, if you already own Tesla, it can be more of a hedge versus betting on either LiDAR or cameras. Pro number two is that their CEO, Austin Russell, said that they are not using off-the-shelf parts and either making their own parts or buying the companies that do make them. That strengthens their competitive advantage and per Austin himself, said they have a quote-unquote insane moat. And pro number three is the management, which is arguably one of the most underrated factors when evaluating a company. The CEO started a LiDAR company at age 16 and took it public by his mid-20s. That tells me he's extremely bright and gives me confidence. Moving on to some cons, it's still an early stage company and still unproven. Also, revenue won't start coming in significantly until 2022, which means plenty of time for capital raises which may dilute shareholder value. Having a mobility as a service, capital light business model will help with the fact that revenue will be delayed. So is it too late to get in? The answer for me is absolutely not. However, I would not be initiating an all-in position right after a reverse merger with the volatility and during price discovery. Furthermore, Jim Cramer suggested the share price may pull back to 15, which would provide a really good buying opportunity. He's not always right by any means, but I do take it under consideration. For me personally, I'm going to look out for a mild pullback, which then I'll initiate a small position, then only add more shares if it lowers my cost basis. That does it for Luminar Technologies. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think of the cameras versus LiDAR in the comment section below. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll be talking to you soon. Take care.